Hi guys, this is Mr. Assassin and I'm here to do Tower of God, chapters 58, 59 and 16. Chapter 58 is actually very packed with information. We left off last time when Kun was trying to get Rachel into the test. So apparently he's having an argument with Yu Ha-sung because Kun wants to take the test directly from the guardian of the floor, and Yu Ha-sung explains to him that when Zahad and his elites first came into the tower, there were no floor administrators or directors. There were simply the guardians, and the guardians were the ones that were giving test to Zahad. But once he reached the top, he had a lot of powerful people beside him, and he started to put people on each floor, and he cut a deal with the guardian of the floor to so that the hard people can actually give the test. However, even though in this time the directors and the administrators give the test, they are the high authority on each floor is still the guardian. So basically Kun can bypass the director Yu Ha-sung if he goes to the guardian, but Yu Ha-sung tells him that the guardian only gives tests to irregulars, which means, and this is very important, that Zahad himself is an irregular, because there was no other way for him to do these tests if he wasn't an irregular that opened the door by himself. So that's a very important piece of information right there. But Kun is a little bit disappointed because he cannot take the test and he cannot bypass the rules that Yu Ha-sung has set, that if somebody is injured, they cannot go to the next test. So the thing is that Yu Ha-sung could have left Kun talk to the guardian and be rejected, but he specifically said this so that Bam would come out of hiding, and we see Bam doing this exact thing. He comes out of hiding and he says to everyone that he's an irregular and that he opened the door by himself, and we see Yu Ha-sung smiling because that's what he wanted from the beginning, so that everyone would know that Bam is an irregular. And after these two things happen, first thing, Bam goes to talk to the guardian of the floor and get the instructions for the next test, and Kun and the rest of the teammates are given a choice. They can participate alongside Kun in the test that will be given by the guardian, and in that case, even if they win the test, they will be branded as people that helped an irregular, or they can take their own tests that will be given by Yu Ha-sung. And of course, the duty to convince everyone to fight alongside Bam falls on Kun's shoulders, and Kun is a very manipulative person, so he managed to manipulate everyone by turning himself against Bam. So he says he will not help Bam because he's an irregular, and if he knew from the beginning, he wouldn't have helped him. So everyone starts to hate Khun and love Bam, and they are being manipulated into going against Khun and allying themselves with Bam, which is exactly what Khun wanted. So everybody ends up on Bam's side, and of course the last one that signs up is Khun, because that was his plan all along, to I don't know how to say, to guide the others, manipulate them to go into Khun's side. So that gets resolved pretty quickly. The only one that sees through Khun's manipulation is the Gator, Wreck, but he was going to go with Bam anyway, so it doesn't matter. Bam goes and talks to the Guardian of the Floor, and the Guardian of the Floor, he is very intrigued by Khun and his flavor. I don't know what that means exactly for a person to have a flavor, but apparently he has a very strong flavor, and the Guardian predicted that Bam will come back. And there's a very important question here. The Guardian asks Bam what does he desire from the tower, and Bam tells the Guardian that, but we don't get to see it. And I'm very curious what actually he desires from the tower, because once he gets out into the real world after he talked to the Guardian, Yu Han Sung is waiting for Bam, and Yu Han Sung is telling Bam that in his eyes he's not normal, because everyone who would put themselves through everything that Bam has been through and would want to endure even more for an ugly little girl, it's not normal. He's not normal. And Bam, in reply to that, says, well, what do you find? You are a ranker. What did you find at the top? And Yu Han Sung says, well, you can have anything, money, power. And he says, well, if you don't have somebody to protect, cherish and love, then everything else is a pile of dirt. It doesn't matter. And if you don't have somebody like that, then you are dirt. In a way, that's what he says. And you are the one who's not normal to me. And if you guys are not liars, and once you get to the top of the tower, you really get one wish fulfilled, then all of you will see what I wish for when I get to the top of the tower. So that is a threat from Bam's side, that once he gets to the tower, his wish would probably be something so extreme that will change the entire composition of the tower. So now he actually painted a bullseye on his back, because everyone that wants to keep the tower the way it is going to come after Bam once they find out, and they will find out in the future, what Bam desires. And I think that's everything. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, that's basically everything in this chapter. So we get to find a couple of things about the tower, about Zahard, and about the testing, how the testing went. So going to chapter 59. Chapter 59 is very simple. It will take me less than 30 seconds because it's a lot of artwork. We see everyone going and paying their respects to Ho's funeral. We see them drinking, we see some of them having fun because everything is free right now from the buffet, and they're drinking, they're having fun, they're relaxing before the next test. We see Bam training with Andosi, taking the tower seriously for the first time, so he's training. We also see a glimpse of the man behind the ship. Yeah, it's fine. We see a glimpse of Yugasi without his costume. We see him from behind. We see a part of his face, but nothing too much, just enough to hype this person. And then we go to the final exam, and apparently the final exam is called the submerged fish hunt, and that's basically where chapter 59 ends. So it's not a very writing heavy chapter, so let's say word heavy chapter, because there are very few words in this chapter. Most of the pages are depictions, artwork, not fan art, artwork of the author. So yeah, chapter 60, however, shows them already inside the test, and the test is as follows. Bam and Rachel will be submerged in an underground cavern. They will be sitting in a globe made out of Shinsho, and this cavern fills with water at 10 a.m. and the water recedes at 5 p.m. So they have from 10 to 5 p.m. When the water comes in the cavern, there are some whale hunters that come to hunt for the fish. So they are hunting fish. These whale hunters, they are very skilled with Shinsho, and they can form nets to catch the fish out of Shinsho. So this is the first animal that we meet that can use Shinsho manipulation. Sorry, let me have a drink. Okay, but these whale hunters not hunt for their own game. They have a giant squid called Madame that they need to feed. So all the fish that they catch in the nets, they bring to this squid, and the squid eats it. Now Bam and Rachel must be because the Shinsho barrier, the Shinsho bubble that they are in, resembles the energies of the fish. So the purpose of the test is to get Bam and Rachel get eaten by the squid and come out the other side, because the Shinsho bubble will protect them inside the squid. But that's what they need to do, get eaten by the squid. In order to do that, the whales must catch them and feed them to the squid. However, the whales are being hunted. While they are fishing, the whales are being hunted by the barnacle goblins, which actually hunt the fish. They use some marsh worms that can stretch their necks and go underwater and like a vacuum absorb the fish from the whales. There are also some dogs that hunt the whales, not the fish, and there's a rivalry between the goblins and the dogs, because the dogs are hunting the whales and the whales need the fish to survive, but the goblins are taking the fish. So if the whales have no fish, there will be fewer whales, and then the dogs don't have what to eat, and so it's an actual ecosystem. The dogs hate the goblins, the goblins hate the dogs, goblins steal fish, and the dogs eat the whales. So the other part of the team must protect the whales, and they must eliminate the dogs and the goblins so that the whales can do their job and send Bam and Rachel to the squid. There's also another creature called the bull. Because it is called a bull, it's actually a lizard, but it is called a bull because of its temper. It has a very fiery temper, let's say fiery. It gets annoyed very fast, and it's actually a creature not from this floor. He's from an upper floor, and he eats everything. He eats whales, he eats fish, he eats humans, so it's a very powerful creature. And Johan Sung even says this creature doesn't always show, but if it will show this time, your test is going to be very, very hard, because it's very strong. Yeah, he comes from an upper floor and he migrated here. So now Khun has split the team into three sides. One that is tracking the goblins, one that are tracking the dogs, and one that is on the lookout for the bull. And what will happen from now on, we will see in the next chapters. But that's basically chapter 60, and that's basically the last test. Bam and Rachel don't actually have to do nothing but get eaten by the squid, and the others have to do all the work. So that being said, I'll see you guys at the next chapters, chapter 61, 62 and 63. So rate, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a nice day. Bye bye.
Any rational society would either kill me or put me to some use.